I just watched John Wick Chapter 4 in theaters, and I do not even know how to fathom what I just watched. The movie was amazing from beginning to finish. It was a amazing thriller spectacle where you just see a ton of action all the way through. The way that the camera moved and the way that the scenes were structured was so good. It just made me want more. The movie is an amazing movie. I think that all of you should definitely watch it. It is one of the strongest John Wick movies, if not up there with John Wick 1. I just, from start to finish, I was captivated the whole entire time. You had, obviously, John Wick going up against he was a French member of the High Table, where he controlled a lot of things and he had a lot of tools to his disposal to try to stop John Wick. But John Wick was being very smart, and instead of just trying to face him head on, he tried to get him to do a duel. Obviously, like I've done in the past, this will have spoilers, so be warned that I will be talking a lot more about the movie, more than just what I said that has something to do with the trailer. I want to begin by talking about what the movie did really well in terms of cinematography, where they had a camera angle that I thought was very interesting, where they were in a church type place where you had all the walls and all the layout, and instead of having that first person or third person idea, the camera was just following John Wick from the top view. So it felt like a video game-esque type of situation, like one of the dungeon video games where you're just walking and you can see what's going on in different rooms. It was a very interesting camera angle, and I think that they had a ton of fun with it. Obviously, from a different perspective, you have the fighting choreography, which John Wick is known to have amazing fight scenes. It is top notch in this movie. You have samurais, you have guns, you have everything that you'd want in a John Wick movie. You have cars hitting people, you have John Wick falling down tons of stairs. It is just an amazing movie, and how it is set up is really great. The story of the movie, also an amazing movie. You have everything going on with the Continental Hotel, with it being leveled there in New York City. You then have Lance Reddick getting his final goodbye in this movie series. Obviously, if you don't know, Lance Reddick, he did die March 17th of this year, sadly. But hey, his legacy will carry on. I know that his scenes in the movie were short, but I will miss this character. You then have Winston, that obviously is trying to get some of his own gains and also looking out for John Wick. You then have the Morpheus of this series, where he is basically just the king of the homeless people, and he helps John Wick, provides him with suits, provides him with everything. Then you have John Wick, which you understand his motivations if you've seen all three of the movies. If not, you know that he's just someone that's trying to get his life back, trying to get back into not having to fear for his life every time that he goes outside, and just trying to live a normal life without having any debt collectors try to come get him. Like I said, this movie does a ton of things well, and another thing that it does really well, and I think that it helped the movie a lot more, was the fact that they invented some type of technology in the movie where their suits were now shields. So now you don't have how OP John Wick is. Obviously, he's still one of the OPest characters in this whole thing. If you don't know what OP is, it's overpowered. He is one of the most overpowered characters in this whole series. He can kill anyone basically just by lifting a finger. And in this new movie, he now gets a bit nerfed, because now everyone has this technology that their fabric of their clothes is bulletproof, and so now he has to go at a different angle. It makes the fight scenes a lot more interesting, and it makes the movie a lot more dynamic as a whole. The plot is one of the biggest and most entertaining things in the whole movie. It doesn't really go too deep and too far off of you understand everything that's going on, you understand everyone's motivations, and you understand everything perfectly. And the way that everything wraps up at the end is just perfect. You have John Wick saving one of the people that are hunting him. He saves his dog from being shot, so now this person that is hunting him feels like he owes him. You have a blind assassin named Kane that he is just trying to get his daughter back. He's trying to get his life back, and so he has to accept the deal given to him by the High Table to take down John Wick. And in the end, they end up kind of rekindling their friendship, and they're not trying to kill each other as much, They're trying to respect the rules of what is going on. They're trying to respect the rules of the duel. So they start fighting together. It is a very interesting movie. You have John Wick trying to honor an agreement to go fight a duel, but then you have this new villain, the Marche, which amazing villain, by the way. He did incredible in the role. He played like this rich punk that like he knew better, and he had every tool at his disposal, and he just tried to send more at John Wick. Even though they had agreed to a duel, he sent more to John Wick to try to win the duel before it even started. But hey, John Wick is unstoppable and ended up killing everyone. Then you have the actual duel itself, where the Marche ends up putting Kane up against John Wick. Then they go into like a shooting duel where they are shooting each other, and they shoot each other a few times. Then the Marche gets a bit eager to kill John Wick, and that is when like the big twist of the movie comes up, where John Wick didn't shoot his gun, so technically he gets a shot, and the Marche is right there, and so he goes and kills him. It was an amazing scene, but what was the biggest surprise to me is the fact that in the end, and if you want to watch this movie, I recommend that you do not listen to this part, because this is going to be the biggest spoiler. John Wick dies, and I know that that is the weirdest thing for me to say. I was not expecting this going into the movie. I expected to see John Wick 10 in theaters. I didn't think that this series was going to end. And hey, in the end, John Wick gets his peaceful goodbye. He dies. They have his gravestone there. Obviously, there are a few circumstances where I think he might have faked his death. I'm not exactly sure, but hey, it's just a theory, and anything can happen with this series. I think that they're just going to end it there, because it is a really good ending for the character, and I don't think that they're going to be able to find a good logical way to bring him back, unless they want to make a lot more money and then just bring him back. With that being said, I think that this movie deserves a 9.2 out of 10. It was an amazing movie. It didn't quite live up to the first one, but it was definitely a strong ending to a strong series. If you agree with me, type it down in the comments. If you disagree with me, then also I want to hear why you disagree with me, why you might not like the John Wick franchise as much, or why you love the John Wick franchise. I think it is amazing, and I think many of you should check it out. Obviously, it is a bit more on the side of blood and horror, so that might throw off a bit of my audience, but I promise you're gonna love it. If you have enjoyed this video, then you should definitely hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, ring that bell to get notifications for when I do post on this channel. Thank you everyone for watching. I'll see you all in the next one.